Check it out, check it out. We're back with another episode of Listen to DP. This was talked about a lot last week. I didn't have time to get around to it, so I'm going to go through it fast. Austin Rivers said he could take 30, not 3, not 5, not 10, 30 guys out of the NBA and put them in the NFL. A lot of guys didn't take kindly to this. Let me move it over here. So he said he could put them in the league right now, 30 of them from NBA to the NFL. And then J.J. Watt was like, hey, bro, you ain't got no job. If it's that easy, go ahead and try it. And then James Jones was like, hey, if you stepped on that football field, homeboy, you wouldn't make it. You barely made it in the NBA. Austin Rivers replied back and said he was a lottery pick. He played 11 years and James Jones only played 9 years. So they were going back and forth, all that good stuff, right? Well, a lot of people asked me what did I think about it. So I was, letting them know, hey, I played football, I played basketball, right? Played baseball, ran track, but now I'm a trainer. So who's the most athletic, DP? Could this happen? So let's talk about what the facts are. More guys literally leave from playing college, not NBA basketball, but college basketball, and then go over to the NFL, right? We have Tony Gonzalez, Jimmy Graham, Antonio Gates. We have a lot of young guys that have tried it now that don't make it to the NBA. So that happens a lot, right? And the list goes on. Kellen Winslow. I could go on and on and on about guys that have done it and made the transition and were Hall of Famers and were great. Now, this is the thing. Does that mean that, because we've seen guys that played basketball move over to the NFL and be successful, that basketball players are more athletic? No, the biggest thing is size. So when you're a 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guy, 6'8" guy, and you move over, you're now going to be the biggest guy on the field. Now, does that mean you're the most athletic? No. Size matters because now let's just say we take a guy like a T. Higgins that plays in the NFL and he's 6'4" and he's a tall wide receiver. Well, when he goes and plays basketball, you got to realize he's now Steph Curry and he's short. So the size is the biggest determining factor. I think from just pure athletic standpoint that football players are well more athletic than basketball players. One, let's talk about it. In football, you're going to have your speed, your cutting ability, your blocking ability, your catching ability, the ability to run with the ball. Just so many different things. Basketball, you can be a guy that not really fast, not really strong, but if you can shoot that thing, you can shoot that thing, right? And then there's a quarterback position, which the quarterback position is getting a lot more athletic as well, right? Run, you got to be able to throw. Reading the defense isn't really athleticism, right? That's mental. Basketball is a very, very skilled sport. So if you get a skinny kid, you get the fat kid, you get, the short kid, the tall kid, everybody can dribble one, right? Everybody can shoot. Now, depending on how good you dribble or shoot, that's the difference. Now, football, yes, you have skinny players and you have fat players, but there is a lineman and there's a receiver. So what I'm saying is the skinny guy on the football field is not going to play lineman. The fat guy, technically, like we've been to the rec. We're not talking about the NBA, but we've been to the rec. You can go play point guard if you can dribble and shoot the ball, right? A skill is a skill. Back in the day, basketball, height and size mattered more than it did now. Now you got guys like 7'6", like Wemby, that can bring the ball up the court. Our basketball guys athletic, very, very athletic, bro. Especially if you're talking about the NBA, the NFL, the MLB. A lot of those guys were dual in three-sport athletes. Now, this is where I think the athleticism comes in play for the football guys. A lot of those NBA guys are tall. So the taller you are, it's harder to move and be just, a crazy athlete, run, cut. But when you're 6'8", you're not going to cut like a guy that's 6'2". So you have a guy like LeBron, and that's why he's so dominant, because you're that big and you're able to move like that. A lot of my basketball kids, they got to get the footwork better. They're uncoordinated because they're long, they're lanky. But like I said, you're not just doing a lot of crazy footwork. You're going to run. We're jumping. That's one thing, right? Run, jump. Sitting in that chair, you're moving laterally, right? And there's going to be other things that go, but it's a lot of lateral movement, a lot of jumping. Then you got your skill. Football, you got lateral, you got forward, you got back, you're jumping, you're tackling, you're catching. So there's a lot of different things that go into football. Football is a more physical sport. And that's also a reason why basketball guys that are athletic can come over because it's not so skilled to where you could have a cold NBA guy come over because it is the running, the jumping. I have that, and then I just need to catch the rock compared to the skill sport from the NFL to the NBA, which is if you're not putting up 1,000 shots a day, you're not just coming off the sideline and able to shoot the ball, right? That's something you're doing all the time compared to when you're in the offseason with football. We're not just shooting all the time. You're in the gym, you're running, you're lifting, you're doing a lot of other things while working on the skill part of your game. Not saying basketball guys don't, but a lot of their time in the gym, and that's why as a trainer, we have to explain to these basketball guys, spend that off season not only shooting the ball and dribbling the ball, but working out in the gym, getting bigger, getting faster, getting stronger. That's where all my top D1 guys came before they went to the big D1 school they went to in basketball. All of their coaches that were recruiting them in North Carolina, Duke, Gonzaga, wherever, was like, hey, we need you to be more explosive. Work on your athleticism. The skill is there. So to end it, Austin Rivers, no, you're not just going to take 30 guys now, but there are going to be more basketball players that can transition over to football. But we're talking about specific positions like tight end. That's where we usually see it. Or DN with Julius Peppers and stuff like that, right? You're not just taking, guys and playing wide receiver. Because now wide receiver, we're talking about getting into the nitty-gritty of the skill of the catching and the route running and all that. DN, tight end, ain't got to be the best route runner. Catch the rock, big body, tall target. DN coming off that edge. See the quarterback, go get him. So Austin Rivers is big cap, but basketball does get it's easier to go from basketball to football than football to basketball. Like I said, it's not a one-size-fit-all because it's a guy like a D-line is a super athlete, and he played football, he played basketball, he played baseball, right? And then you got a LeBron James. So you just can't say all these guys and all those guys. It's case by case, but I have found out through training for a long time, playing Division I basketball, because this is what people got to realize when we're talking about athletes. Now let's take it out of football and basketball. Let's take a football guy and take a basketball guy and let's just race. Boom. Let's just jump. Let's just let's just do cone drills, right? Let's just take it out of a single sport and just say, let's see who's the best athlete, who's going to run, jump, change the direction. Let's throw a ball, let's catch a ball, let's shoot a ball, and just put it all across the board. I think the guy that's more 5'10" to 6'3" is going to have a better chance to have movement and more athletic than a guy that's 6'8", because once again, it's hard to move at 6'8". It's hard to move at 7 foot. So, of course, I'm going to beat you in some cone drills. I'm probably going to beat you in a race, especially if I'm fast. So those are the things that I tell guys. It's not a one-size-fits-all because there are guys like Russell Westbrook, bro, Anthony Edwards, Jordan, Kobe, right? There's a lot of guys that could probably have played, just like Allen Iverson. He was a top guy, right? But I think that's more to do with size than anything. Taking nothing away from a basketball guy, because I know a lot of sloppy football guys that I play with as well. But across the board, I would say most of my football athletes are more athletic than the basketball athletes, because the basketball guys are really focusing from a young age on the skill part of the game. Whereas in football, you have to be from a young age physically ready, and a lot of athleticism comes from that physical part of the game. So I hope I broke that down for y'all. Austin Rivers still my Duke boy, but sometimes, he going to get them clicks and everybody riled up. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's what we do here. That's just my take on it. Let me know what y'all think. We out.